In this tutorial, we'll look at how to create categories in your Moodle gradebook. You'll need categories if you want to have different items with different weights when calculating your grades. You'll start by logging into Moodle and then choosing the course that you want to work on. You'll notice here, looking at my course, that I have a number of items that I am planning to include in the gradebook. An essay, a couple of essays actually, with revisions, a research paper, some quizzes, and a couple of exams. But when I set these items up, I didn't assign them to a category. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to scroll down, and over on the left here, I'm going to click on the grades link. And now that I'm on the grades link, I'm going to click up here on this drop-down menu, and I'm going to choose categories and items, and I'm going to go ahead and look at the full view. Now, when we look at the categories and items, you can see that I have just a list of items under English Comp 1. And what that means is that right now, all of these items sort of have an equal value in my gradebook, which I don't want. I want to be able to sort these items because I expect to do different things with them. So I'm going to start by creating some categories and assigning these items into categories. And I choose these categories based on the grading policy that I set up when I started my course or planned my course. Here is the grading policy that I established when I planned out my semester. You can see that I have 3 essays, and each of these essays is worth an overall percentage in the course. So I don't mean to average these essays. I mean for each of them to have a specific percentage value. Then I have quizzes. However, I give 5 quizzes and I drop the lowest. So what I want to do is I want to average the top 4 grades in that category. I have 2 exams, and again, my plan is to average the scores of these exams and have that average count as 20% of the grade. I want the research paper to count for 20% of the overall grade, and I want to grade class participation, and that's going to be 5%. Now I'm back in Moodle looking at the categories view, full view. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add some categories to my gradebook. And those categories are going to respond to those items on the list for my grading. So you'll see as I scroll down a little bit, I can see the Add Category button. And I'm going to add the first category that I'm going to add is just Essay 1. And I know that I want this to be the actual revision of Essay 1, so I'm going to go ahead and put Essay 1 revision here. And then I'm going to save changes. And now I have created a category called Essay 1 revision. Next, I'm going to add another category, and that category is going to be for quizzes. And again, right now I'm just adding the categories. So you can see that I'm going to go ahead and add a category for each of those elements. So I'll do that right now, and I'll be back in a moment to explain the next step. Okay. Now, as I scroll down, you'll see that I've added a bunch of categories to my gradebook. I have the class participation category, the research paper, exams, and the Essay 3, Essay 2, quizzes, and Essay 1. And those were all corresponding items on my grading policy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of these items that exist up here into the appropriate category down below. So you can see that I have Essay 1 And remember that I'm planning to count for the grade, the Essay 1 revision grade. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to actually have to scroll down and use the bar to slide over to the left to go and select those. So when I come up here, I can see I'm looking for Essay 1 revision, and I'm going to go over and I'm going to select it. So I've selected Essay 1 revision, and now I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and you can see where it says Move Selected Items To. So this is where I can move these items into categories. So remember, I also have a category called Essay 1 Revision. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and now you can see that Essay 1 Revision is within its correct category. I'm going to go ahead and find the quizzes. Now I've got quiz 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So again, I'm going to scroll down. This is a little bit of a pain. Slide the bar over, go back up here, and here are my quizzes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want them all to move to the same place, so I'll scroll down to the bottom again. Move Selected Items To Quizzes. And you can see that now all the quizzes are within this one category. Okay, I'm going to go and move the exams to the exam category. Here's exams 1 and 2. Scroll down to the bottom. Move Selected Items To Exams. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and take Essay 2 Revision, because that's another item. That's one of my categories. And here I'll scroll back up here. Essay 2 Revision. I'm going to move down to the category that's called Essay 2 Revision. I'm going to go and move Selected Items To Essay 2 Revision. And again, now I look up here, I've got Essay 1 and Essay 2. Essay 3 does need to move down. So here's Essay 3, and I'm scrolling down again, and I'm moving it to the Essay 3 category. And the last one I'm going to move is the research paper. And up here, I'm going to choose research paper, and I'm going to go down and move that to the research paper category. All right. Now, what I have left here are 2 essays, and these are the original grades, and Moodle has these grades already entered into my grade book, because when the students upload those papers and I grade them and enter that grade into the grade book, it gets recorded there. But I'm not going to count those first draft grades. So what I do now is I add a category that I call drafts. And this is where I put anything that's in my grade book that I am not going to actually count in the final grade. So I created a category called drafts, and now I'm going to, you can see it'll be at the bottom here, and I'm going to just go to the top and choose these couple of items. So this is the way that I found to sort of put aside items that I didn't want to count in the final grade, but I might have grades for in my grade book. So again, I'm going to move those items to the drafts section. And what I have now is my grade book organized by the same categories on my grading policy. I have, it says here English Comp 2, and you can see Essay 1 Revision, Quizzes, Essay 2 Revision, Essay 3, Exams, and the research paper, and class participation. And those were all items that counted in my total grades. So I'm going to be sure now to hit Save Changes, and you want to be sure to save changes so that these stick, these categories. And in my next tutorial, I'm going to show you how now to add weights to these categories if you would like to do that. Okay? So you can check out that tutorial next.